What's up, guys? So, for this discussion blog, one of the questions I get often, or at least last month in particular, was how to set up a shadow AOV pass inside of RenderMan. Now, there's a lot of different posts out there, a lot of brilliant people and great support out there. You can always get into the documentation on for RenderMan and find out all of this stuff. But there's a lot of different avenues to do that. And what we're trying to do um, is basically, if we're not doing a full CG scene where we needed like a model table, but we wanted to take this cup and say, put it into a shot somewhere, and we needed that shadow, this is basically how we're going to do it. So I got this little cup here from CG Trader. You'll see the page in a little bit. It's just a simple cup. I've just taken it and put a PXR surface on it, called it cup mat. Boom, it's gray. And then we got this table here. I just threw another PXR surface on there. We'll call this table mat. I don't even think you have to do this, but for table spell, for the sake of argument, let's go ahead and throw a PXR mat on there. And that's just this bouncing ball icon. So getting the actual AOV setup is actually quite simple now in RenderMan. You don't have to go to RenderMan in advanced settings for this anymore. You can, there are AOVs that you would want to set up that way, and you could really dive into manual things in there that are just mind-boggling and awesome. But for the simplicity of argument and just to knock out kind of the most basic, simple way to tackle something like this, I've got just a light scene here. So all we're going to do is we're going to grab this table right here. We're going to come up to our other Pixar holdout and boom, hit it. Boom, done. All right, let's check out our render cam. So now on our render cam, our shot cam here, we've got a cup sitting on a table. Now I know the perspective isn't perfect. I just threw this together real quick, just for demo's sake. Obviously you would do this on a track shot, and if you're watching this video outside of the discussion post, you probably got a track shot and you're like, oh my gosh, how do I do this? I just need this. This is a simple way to tackle it. So once you've got the holdout set up, all we need to do is come up to render settings, and in advanced, you're going to see output shadow AOV in Beauty Alpha. Well, you just want to click that and go to add separate AOV. Now, warning here, this is a render intensive process. So, I mean, I'm rendering at, I think, 1080 right now. It's a simple scene, one frame. This, especially if you're on like a laptop or a MacBook, it could take some time. So just heads up, the second you start putting AOVs in your scene, know that your render time is going to shoot up. So, boom. We're going to hit close, and let's go ahead. Now, there's something worth noting here once you have it set up. If you just fire off an IPR render, it won't work. You'll be like, what the heck? Where's my shadow pass? This guy said I could do it this way, and it's not there. That's because you actually have to render it, do a full render. So render the curve frame. You can hit this button here or this blue beautiful button that RenderMan has provided. So I'm just going to click this guy. And here's our IPR, and you'll see our cup. It's the best cup in the world. I believe the artist is Chimera with lots of A's. It's a cool cup. It was free. I just grabbed it real quick. So now we got our cup. There's a couple things to look at. We open this guy up. You're going to see occluded and a holdout shadow. Beautiful thing is this holdout shadow, that's what you're looking for. For our table, we've got just this. So now we've got our cup. And let's go ahead and check the alpha on that. So boom, alpha's good. Let's go to our RGB, and there's our holdout. All right, so that's it. You basically batch render this guy out. Just go ahead and close that. Don't save. I would go to RenderMan, batch render. A couple real quick things when you're batch rendering out of RenderMan. Please make sure that you've set a project and save the scene, as sometimes I've noticed in personal experience that sometimes you'll hit batch render and it'll only give you rib files with data and no actual images, and it's usually because I forgot to set the project or make sure I gave it a file name. Okay, so let's head over to Nuke here.